welcome to another episode of Conversation with a Chef. I'm Jo Ritty and I love sharing with you the conversations I get to have with talented and passionate chefs. It's the backstory, if you will, to the food they're putting up. I begin today by acknowledging the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, traditional custodians of the unceded land where this conversation takes place, and I pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging. Brooke Silk is a pastry chef with a flair for precision and a competitive streak that's taken her from Sydney kitchens to the World Food Championships in Indianapolis, where her buttermilk cheesecake earned her third place in the world for dessert. She's now preparing to return in October to take out that top spot, all while juggling recipe testing, private chef gigs and her educational platform Capture the Chef, as well as packing her own sugar for the competition because, as she puts it, Australian sugar tastes better. Talking to her when she was in Melbourne, I got the sense of someone who thrives on high stakes but carries it lightly, meticulous yet unflappable, and deeply in love with sharing food and technique with anyone curious enough to watch. Hi Brooke, nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you, Jo.
So you just arrived in Melbourne today. Where have you come from?
We flew down from Sydney this morning, so got on the 9 a.m. flight.
Yeah.
Checked in.
And what are your plans while you're here?
So we've got the championship dinner with Princess on Friday night, and then just going to meet a few other chefs with Julia, so it'll be a nice little experience.
Yeah. So the championship dinner, that's to celebrate how far you've come so far.
Yeah. So it's to celebrate last year's, I got third in the world for dessert last year, and then it's to celebrate that and also to promote us going back this year.
Yeah, it's amazing. You've done so well. I was reading a little bit about the World Food Championships.
Yeah.
And it was in Dallas last year, is it?
So it was
Indianapolis.
So Indianapolis last year, but Dallas the year before.
Yeah. And where is it this year?
Indianapolis again. Okay. So they've got a contract for it for a couple of years, I think.
Okay.
But they really turned it up last year, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah. So how many chefs were you competing against?
So there's, I think, 218 groups of chefs that go.
Wow.
And they're from like Dubai, Japan, Europe, Australia, America. And then there's at least 15 in each category. Okay. And then it goes down to 7 for the final round. And then you obviously go against each other for the final round. But
wow.
It's an awesome experience. It's something that I've never experienced before. Like, you have a red carpet and you're walking your food down there, you can make your last minute adjustments, and then once it's on the table, that's the end of it. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. And to get to that point, like what's the process? Is it a long process?
So I won the Sydney competition 2 years in a row, and that gives you a golden ticket to get into the World Food Championships. What you have to do is then you will put your recipe in for the judges so they know what allergies and stuff that they need to be aware of, and then you've got an hour and a half to cook and get everything sorted, and then you've got, I think, 7 or 8 portions for the first round. You have a major decorative one, and then you've got tasting ones around the outside, and then for the next round you've got 13 portions.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. And how do you, so you have your dish that you're going to make, so you did your dessert.
Yeah.
So you knew what you were going to do before you went.
I knew what I was going to make before I went, because I have to take most of the ingredients with me.
Oh, okay.
So we take everything over. We take our own equipment. We take our own, we pay for our own flights. We basically get all of our own uniforms, our accommodation, our cars to get around. Once you get there, you have to source everything as well. So you source your equipment, you source your edible flowers and everything like that, just to make sure that you've got the right produce. Trying to find the places in the first year was very hard.
I bet, yeah. Because everything will be so different in America. So how do you go about that? So you land, it just must be, had you been to the States before?
So only when I was really young.
Yeah.
The first year was a very big adjustment for us because I take my partner as my sous chef.
Yeah.
He doesn't know how to cook, but he just cleans the kitchen for me while I cook. But yeah, so basically I really struggled the first year because the sugar's so different and everything else is, the flour is different, the eggs are different, so it was just like an adjustment to the recipes, an adjustment to everything that I kind of learnt here. So I had to start from scratch, learn how to make my recipe again with all their produce. The first few times I failed like miserably because the sugar burns too much. The eggs, they're not as, our eggs are a lot bigger, so then you can't put as much egg in. Like, it was just a whole learning curve.
Wow.
But the second year around, I had learned how to adjust recipes to the way that they do things. And then I also took my own sugar over.
Okay.
And the sugar here is just, the flavour is so much better. It's not as sweet, and it doesn't burn as much for any of the desserts.
And then who's judging you?
So we have a bunch of professional chefs from around the world, and they will be judging, and they give a thing called an EAT score. So that's execution, appearance, and taste, and you get a certain percentage to get through.
Yeah. And what did you make?
So the first round last year, I did a hazelnut cake with a lemon curd.
Wow.
And then I did a meringue with some raspberry jellies and a white chocolate soil. And then the second round, which got me the third, was a buttermilk cheesecake with a creme brulee top. And I did an almond crumble, poached apples, some freeze-dried raspberries, chantilly cream, and then some gold dust, and then a burnt caramel sauce.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how do you decide? How did you decide on those recipes? 'Cause I guess you need that wow factor, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with the second round, I had to use either cream or buttermilk,
Oh, okay.
and I had 24 hours to come up with that recipe.
Oh.
So yeah, I just tried it out the night before in our little Airbnb that we hired, and yeah, it worked well. It tasted good, so I was like, this is what we're going to go with.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah.
And do you, in that heat of the moment of making the dish, how long have you got to do it?
An hour and a half for the final,
Yeah.
but this year it's an hour,
Oh, okay.
and an hour and a half for the first round, but that will still be an hour and a half. But yeah, this year they've cut the final down to an hour.
Wow. That seems really short, especially for dessert.
Yeah. I'm excited for the challenge though.
Yeah, I was going to say, so what are you feeling in that moment? Are you just really focused? Are you able to get really focused really quickly and just do it? Or are you nervous? How are you feeling?
I feel like my job, being a private chef and working in all these different kitchens, is pretty much trained me for these areas. So I'm used to adjusting to different kitchens, and I can just focus in and like, this is what we're going to do, and we're going to get it done now.
Yeah, right, yeah. Wow, so exciting. And so that's in October, is it? You're
Yeah.
going back over?
Yeah, so we leave on the 3rd of October. It will be very exciting.
Yeah, wow. And what's the date of the actual competition?
So the competition is on the 18th to the 19th.
Okay.
They also stream it on YouTube. So
fun.
yeah, people can watch it on YouTube or follow along on like my socials.
Yes.
So I post about it on Dine by Brooke all the time. And then yeah, it'll be fun because I'll get to go over with my friend Princess again. I'll get to see all my American friends that we've made and go back to the town that we went to so many restaurants and spoke to so many chefs and made a lot of connections over there as well, which is really nice.
Yeah, that's really good. That's that added aspect, isn't it? That it's nice to find a community amongst all of that, yeah.
Yeah.
And is it important to you to go in competitions and do you need that challenge?
I think it pushed me outside of my comfort zone. So I definitely needed it because I wasn't that confident in myself anymore. And I think pushing myself out of my comfort zone and knowing that I can do these things has really made me believe in myself a little bit more. That's why I have called the last cheesecake that I did was called the Believer Cheesecake, because it made me realize that I do have all those skills from working in fine dining restaurants and working as a pastry chef for so many years that I can do this.
Yeah. And what do you love about pastry, making desserts and cakes?
So I find pastry is very methodical, and you have to weigh everything up, and everything has to be perfect for it to work. Whereas being a chef, you can kind of just throw it all in, and it kind of just works.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So I kind of like to bring them both together, and then just make everything a little bit more methodical, but then it's kind of slow paced, but you're still having to fasten it up to make sure it's ready for the competitions as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And so fine dining is, I guess it's like the pastry of chefing as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you do have to be so methodical in that and precise. What do you like about fine dining?
I just like how you can make things simple, but the techniques and the flavors make it taste like it's so elevated.
Yeah.
So you don't have to try hard with you're not doing all these different styles of food. You've just got the same style, but you've then got a refined, like a carrot, for example. You can make a carrot taste fine dining by just cooking it in butter and clarifying it, adding the right amount of salt, adding the right amount of pepper. That just elevates that carrot to the next level.
And in your Capture the Chef, you're very generous with sharing your knowledge with people, with the public, with us. Why are you being so generous?
I love teaching people.
Yeah.
So I love sharing my knowledge because I have a passion for cooking, and I always have since I was a child. So finding that passion and being able to share that with other people, it makes me happy. And I'm sure people out there who love food as well would find some sort of joy in that as well.
And you work with someone else on that to help you produce that, is that right?
Yeah, so I've just taken over that whole...
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
So you're now like a content creator and videographer and everything as well?
Yeah, so I've just taken over Capture the Chef by myself as well.
Wow.
So in the next few months we'll be looking at rolling out instructional videos and making it really elevated as well.
Yeah. So do you charge money for that, or you just share?
No, we don't charge money. We just ask for subscriptions.
Okay.
So then if we get the subscriptions, that helps me to be able to monetize that. Yeah. And just work on... That gives me enough to keep pushing out the content and keep making sure I can teach people how to sous vide and how to do a brulee correctly and how to make all these recipes that I have been cooking for years.
Because I feel like people can be a bit scared of cooking, of trying some of those things, because they think, they don't know how to do it, or they don't know what to do if things go wrong. Do you give those kinds of hacks? Because I feel as though chefs have got lots of hacks, but it's because you've been doing it for so many years, and it's probably about having that understanding of how ingredients work and how temperatures work and how... Is that right? So do you have to have that kind of understanding to be able to do those dishes?
I feel like it's just... Some of it could be just basic knowledge. I feel like having the understanding definitely helps, but there's definitely recipes that anyone can follow, especially on Capture the Chef. I've even got easy meals, so there's it's a place to start, and then you can move up to the other ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, I find, maybe because I've been doing it forever, but I find it's not that hard, and especially if I take the time to explain it properly, then it's easier for people to understand and achieve at home as well.
Yeah. And the Dine by Brooke, that's where you go to people's houses and cook beautiful food for them.
Yeah.
And that came as a result of lockdowns and things, did it?
Yeah, so that was a COVID baby.
Yeah.
So I've been running that for 5 years now, and I love it. I get to do a 5-course degustation in people's house. I make some freshly made bread with whipped butter, and then I do seasonal menus, which keeps me on my toes and keeps me interested in the different seasons and the different flavors that I can make work.
Yeah.
And then I do a wine matching as well. So it's nice to work with some like local winemakers and make sure that we have like it matched for our 5-course degustation, which is lovely.
Yeah. So that's you that decides on the dishes, or does the client have any input, or?
So I do 5 entrees, 5 mains, and 5 desserts, and they can choose their own adventure.
Okay.
Yeah. So if they've got dietary requirements, they're more than happy to meet those as well. So just it makes sure that everyone's satisfied, and yeah, it's very popular, and we're booked out most weekends, which is fantastic.
It's amazing. So there must be a lot of word of mouth as well, is there?
Yeah, so I get quite lucky. I get to cook in most of the Airbnbs along the south coast.
Okay.
So been to some amazing houses down south, and yeah, I work with a lot of the Airbnb. There's a business called Super Pala Private Properties. I work with them. They've got like 20 properties that I'll pretty much be going to most weekends.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Wow. And that interaction with the guests as well must be really nice. I mean, you're right there, I guess, depending on the layout of the kitchen.
It's so special. It's nothing like I've ever worked in before. I've worked in restaurants where you've gone out and said hi to the customers, but actually being there for every step of the way and explaining every element on their plate, answering all their questions, having like a personal conversation with them. One, to plan their table in the first instance, and then once you get there, you feel like you're pretty much family with them once you get there anyway, so they feel more comfortable. You're coming in and then you're just cooking them an awesome dinner, and then you get to leave with a clean kitchen, so they're pretty happy.
That's right. And I suppose now you've been to those properties, you're really familiar with them, but if you had a new one that you're going to, would you go and check out the kitchen first before you... No, you just...
No,
wow.
we don't. So I take pretty much everything with me. So I'll take the plates, the cutlery, some green placemats and napkins, and then just set the table so it feels like they're at a restaurant anyway, so it feels different. And then I take all my cooking equipment, but yeah, I've got it down to a fine art now, so I've just got like my trolleys that I wheel in and out, and
wow. So what's an example of a menu, a 5-course?
So at the moment I've got a prawn bisque on the menu, so I do prawn bisque with some freshly made pasta, and we've got a prawn ravioli, and then I do a chive oil on top of that. And then we've got the pork belly with a celeriac puree and some caramelized apples. And then I've got the salmon, which I've got a leek puree, and then we've got some grilled broccolini, and then we've got the sous vide beef. So I cook that for 4.5 hours before I get to the actual properties. And then we've got some red wine veal jus, and then some Dutch carrots, and then I finish it off with my creme brulee buttermilk cheesecake.
Oh yes, wow, lucky them. Wow, that sounds amazing. Yeah. And then that's good because no one has to drive home apart from you.
Yeah.
They can just roll off into... Yeah. Wow. But such a treat for people, I think, and because it's so nice to have that level of food. Yeah. But to be in somewhere comfortable is so good, yeah.
Sometimes we get people in their pajamas enjoying like the 5-course degustation and having their wine along with it. It's like quite a nice experience to see as well.
Yeah, that's cute, wow. And so before COVID, you were in restaurants.
Yep.
Did you always know you wanted to be a chef?
Yeah, so I think as soon as I could talk, I told everyone that I was going to be a chef. And then as soon as I finished year 12, I got a pastry chef apprenticeship offered to me. So I finished that and then went straight into chefing afterwards. So.
And where do you think that came from? Is your family a foodie family?
My grandma always had me in the kitchen, and she was always teaching me how to make simple things like rock cakes and scones and things like that. But yeah, I just always had a passion for food, and I don't know, there was something ingrained in me the moment I was born. I was just like, this is all I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Which was interesting because people tell me that they still don't know what they want to do when they're 23, and I knew what I wanted to do when I was 3. Yeah.
Wow. And when you did that apprenticeship and you were in the kitchen, was it what you thought?
No, it was a lot harder work than I expected, and then it was a lot of mental struggles to get through the hard hours. You lose a lot of people because you're working all these weekends and late nights, especially pastry. That was really hard coming out of high school. And then going into chefing afterwards, you lose even the people that you made in pastry because you've gone to these other completely different hours.
Yeah.
But look, to get where I am now, it's so worth it.
Yeah. So this is the ideal for you, the way you're doing life now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're getting to cook, but
Yeah.
it's on your own terms.
I get an amazing work-life balance. I get to cook the food that I enjoy cooking. I get to travel overseas to compete in competitions, and I get to go out and enjoy good food for inspiration. So I think it's pretty good.
So how is your week made up? Do are you planning for the weekend? Is it mainly weekend cooking?
It can be sporadical. So I can be doing weekday weddings. We do a lot of micro weddings as well.
Oh.
So yeah, for example, in September, I'm working 4 or 5 days per week just on functions, and then the other days are spent planning, prepping, shopping, going to my local suppliers, picking everything up, coming back, prepping everything. Yeah, it's very busy.
Yeah.
And then answering the emails and doing the socials, and then trying to keep up with Capture the Chef as well.
Yeah, very busy,
Yeah.
very busy. That's impressive. And where do you get your inspiration? I guess you've got years of cooking under your belt, and so you probably have a lot of ideas, but are you looking at other people? Have you got cookbooks? Where do you get ideas from?
A bit random, but I go on Pinterest and I look at different photos and look at what kind of images inspire me, and then work out what I'm going to do to kind of make flavors and make it similar but not similar, make my own version of that.
Yeah.
And then I sit down every 3 months and just look at, okay, this is what's coming into season, and then try and build off my inspiration of what I can do and how I want it to look, and and what's easy to make in multiples if I get tables of 100 as well.
Yeah, so you're having up to 100,
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. Goodness, you'd need a few extra sous chefs on that occasion, would you? Yeah. And when you're out eating, can you still be surprised by flavour or by dishes?
Yeah, 100%. I'm always open to learn, and I'm always open to... I love seeing what other people do with different ingredients and how they put them on the plate as well. For me, I'm a little bit critical though if the service isn't up to how I know it can be, especially when I know it's not hard to give people good service, then I get a little bit upset as well.
Yes. Do you say anything, or do you just...
No, just quietly.
Internalise it, yeah.
Just know that you have to do better for your next time.
Yeah.
Personally, I know that, okay, well, I saw this in something else, and I know when I take it into the place of someone's home, I know that the service needs to be even better than that.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I always think it is. It's hospitality, isn't it? And so you have to be hospitable. You actually have to, be nice to people, and it, I don't know, I think it's common sense as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Although common sense can sometimes not be that common, but yeah. I guess, well then, with all that in mind, all your experiences, what would your advice be to a young person starting out as a chef?
As a chef, if you're starting out, it's going to be hard to start, and you're going to have to do things like peel the potatoes and wash the dishes, but at the end, if it's something that you want to do, you should keep working at it, and you can make it work, because there's amazing restaurants out there that you can work out, or you can get the opportunity to actually work for yourself one day.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you, and all the best for Indianapolis.
Thanks, Jo.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Conversation with the Chef with Brooke Silk from Dine by Brooke and Capture the Chef. You can check out all the goodness on Instagram at Dine by Brooke Silk, that's BROOKESILK, and at Capture the Chef, as well as her website, capturethechef.com, where she shares lots of tips and tricks for fine dining cooking at home. As for me, I'm on Instagram at Conversation with a Chef, and if you'd like to read other chats, you can check out the website www.conversationwithachef.com. You can even become a subscriber if you like. Of course, you can click follow on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, and then I know that you're there. I'd absolutely love it if you told a friend about the chats, because that's still the best way to get the stories out there. Once again, thanks so much for listening. Have a great day and bon appetit.